welcome back to the Director's Garage. I am your host and resident idiot, Michael, and today, folks, I'm going to reveal an endgame flagship headphone I purchased in a moment of weakness. Please send help. Now, before we jump in, I want to call your attention down below to the Director's Garage sale. I have a bunch of stuff listed in those comments down there, and some of the stuff is an incredible bargain, like the Audeze LCD-5, a $2,000+ IEM that I'm selling for under $1,000. Now, I got them at a discount, to be fair, but they're practically new. Or you can get a steal on my OG Focal Utopia at $2,000, which is the lowest price on the market for the OG Focal. Awesome. Now, some other stuff, well, it might be a few hundred over the market value, and that's just because I'm not quite ready to let it go, but I would for a price. Why pay a little more? Well, you know exactly what you're getting. Hell, there are close-up videos of all this stuff, and you know, the seller. This show would go away really fast if I started screwing people over on sales. So with that, we're going to get into today's unboxing. Now, I know I mentioned I bought these in a moment of weakness, and I guess we all have them. But this is radical because this is a sight unseen, sound unheard purchase. I have no idea what I'm in for today, other than what I've read in a few write-ups. And the reality is, I just broke down. And now I'm going broke. So I'll ask you to subscribe to the Director's Garage. Be an enabler. You salty dogs. Well, what happens in the next few minutes will either fill my ears with extreme joy or bury my soul with dark regret. Which will it be? Time to grip it and rip it. So this is a new purchase, none of that used stuff today, and I paid full, and I mean full retail for this. I'm just sitting watching TV with Mrs. Director, and she's kind of falling asleep. It's getting closer to midnight and the new year, and I did it. Big, dumb guy. Okay, I think we're about through this package. What do you think? Is it time? Are you ready? Here's level 1. Let's do it. And oh, we got ourselves a bunch of product mess chart thing. Just a card with some stuff on it. I'm going to leave it a mystery for a second longer. Let's pull this out. Why? Oh, can you see it? It's a ZMF, and I think you know where this is headed, but let's open it for posterity anyway, huh? Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? Folks, it's the ZMF Caldera. Can you check this out? Yes, it's the ZMF Caldera. Ooh, they smell really good, guys. It's $4,000 worth of planar magnetic insanity. I really need an intervention, but let's check these out. I got a spare pair of headphones. I went for something that said it was warm and bassy because I'm a bass whore. And then you get this product card down here, which is, ooh, they've got an envelope with a stamp on it this time, and this will be on wood, and it'll tell you your name and your product number and all that. Not very useful. But then they gave me this card. This is what I kind of blew past when I first opened the box. And this is like how to put your headphone ear pads on, and then the different ear pads available for the Caldera and where they sit in the warm, cool lane. And that gives way to this fancy schnazzy bag here, which I assume in it has the cables. And you get 2 cables with this. You get a Pentacon, kind of heavy-duty, rugged deal. And then you get the stitched fancy ZMF cable with the 1/4-inch jack on it, which we're going to be using because of the Bakun situation back there. But let's take a look at the headphone itself. Now, these things, they're really pretty. They're kind of dark on camera. Maybe I need to give them a juice of light here. Let's give them a little more light. Very nice wood grain kind of a darker look than the Atrium, and it doesn't have that cool kind of retro worn feel to them. I kind of like that on the Atrium. I think that's one of the things the Atrium did just perfectly. But check out the grill. This is a coffee colored grill. Very, very attractive. I like this over the silver myself. That's my personal thing. And then I got the hardware is the same. It matches the copper coffee of the grill. And then, of course, you get the legendary ZMF headphone. This is a very comfortable arrangement, much better than ZMF's early headphone bands. These things are cushy all over and fine, fine leather. They are very, very comfortable and a total win. Now, ZMF has been just killing it on the design lately. The best looking, I think, designs in the business for over-ears, and this certainly is no exception. I mean, they feel great, they smell great, absolutely top grade materials all over this thing, sturdily built. Just another amazing entry from Zach and Bev. The best part is we know we're not going to be struggling with amping today because we've got the recent edition of the Bakun 13R, and we're going to get the best out of this headphone right away. So I think it's time we head into a director's garage sound impression. Now, this is kind of a roomy fit, I gotta say, the roomiest of any ZMF I've ever owned. I feel like I had to really shrink these up to get them to fit right, but we're gonna start out today with a little Fleetwood Mac. I'm gonna go to their Eponymous, and the track we're gonna start out with today is a song called Say You Love Me, and this is a Christine McVie song, the late great Christine McVie, and there's a great 3-song arc on this album. We're gonna get into it right now. All right, I like what I'm hearing out of the gate. Oh, this is a really natural, beautiful sound. Very full. This has shades of the Atrium in it, but it's more open on the top end, and it feels, at least initially, we'll get into it later, a couple of bass tracks, but it feels like these are a little more robust on the bottom end. I'm really impressed with what I'm hearing out of the gate. Extreme clarity. This is one of the best tonalities I've heard in a new headphone since the Atrium. And I like that these are a little more open on top. It's got a little more air to it and breathing. Soundstage isn't the widest. It feels fairly enclosed. There's good detail here. But more than anything, I'm gripped by a nice bottom end on this thing. Like, really good into the sub. Boy, this thing does drums as well as any headphone I've heard. I'm infatuated with Mick Fleetwood's kit right now. I mean, it's spectacular. Such a solid kick drum. And the snare just has great attack and authority. I mean, some of that is the mix and the greatness of this recording, but boy, it's either got it or it doesn't. This got it. All right, we're gonna go now to I'm gonna go to Billy Joel, and I want to check out Piano Man because that has a harmonica on it that will tell me if this headphone is too bright, if it's got too much sibilance, if it's got some grating going on. And that's kind of a common problem you have with these planar magnetics. They can go too bright and get shouty and grating on you a little bit. Well, here's that song now. It's lyrical. 3/4 time. It's a waltz. It's beautiful. First hint of a soundstage, a wider soundstage on this song. Ooh. Okay. My first real wow on this headphone. The acoustic guitar came in way over here, and it's way out. and there's echo going all throughout the soundstage. This was beautiful. And over here you got the mandolin. Oh, what a great audition track. I'm surprised I haven't done this before. And there's a solid bass running under it. This song doesn't push the sub at all. It's just lyrical. And over up here is the accordion. Oh, this is spectacular. All right, this one got me. This one got me. Great resolution in this headphone. I still don't think I've heard extreme resolution out of these. I don't think that's this headphone. I think this headphone dials it back a notch from some of those top tier ones. But that's okay. Some of those top tier headphones can get a little analytical. These seem to be staying very much in line. Ah, the song just exploded. Now it's got all the instruments are going on. Soundstage is full. Very big sound. Fantastic. All right, we're going to go. We got to check out. You know, we got to do some Los Lobos. I got to get some Dreamin' Blue in here. Ooh, it's got the molar filling sub. Boy, the image sounds even sharper on this headphone than some of the other headphones I've heard. Some of the better headphones I've heard. I seem to, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if in head-to-heads this thing starts taking imaging categories. Because the image is really good. It's really locked in. Oh, the horns. By far the best tuned ZMF I've ever heard. I'm comfortable saying that as of now. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. All right. We got to go a little bit aggressive here. I got to get something aggressive in here. So let's go to... I'm going to go to Aerosmith. And we're going to go check out Toys in the Attic. And I'm going to check out the track. Let's do Adam's Apple. This is a 70s rocker. Great crunching guitars. This is Aerosmith at its best. You got Joe Perry jamming out. Steven Tyler's voice. His vocals have never sounded better than this record. This is the pinnacle of Aerosmith. With all respect to, you know, Permanent Vacation and those great older albums that came in the 80s, this was Aerosmith in their prime. If you don't own this album, go get it today. This thing doesn't mind complex music, sparse music, it's all good. ZMF is just carving this shit up. It's amazing. What a great headphone. What a great headphone. Yeah, I love the deep tracks on this record. Adam's Apple, Uncle Salty, I'm going to go to that right now. Just swing. Haven't heard anything bad yet, folks. Not a single thing. You've got great detail. You've got good speed. You've got a decent soundstage. You've got world-class imaging. And the tuning is perfect. Perfect. Oh, Stephen could hit some notes. God, the drums are amazing on this headphone. All right. I'm going to do one pause here. I'm going to pause for just a second because what I do want to say is I'm into the music on this headphone. Like, I'm actually getting lost in the songs rather than sitting here and want to talk about the sound of these things. The music is so good off this headphone. This is an accomplishment. This is an achievement. This is in the upper elite of headphones in the world of that I've heard. You know, there's some stuff out there that, may never get to hear, but these are right at the top of the ladder. This is about as good. Let's go to, I'm gonna go back to get some jazz in here. I owe it to myself to listen to a couple of jazz tunes, something slower. So we're gonna go to Autumn Leaves. and I love the liveliness of this track. I love how lively it is. I love that you can hear the room. The room is a part of the song. You got the walking bass, and then the horns just start to bleed through a little bit. There's nothing shouty, and when you get into these sax and trumpet runs and stuff, that's where you can get a little grating going on the wrong headphone, and these are just butter. The genius of this track is you've got two of the greats. You've got Miles Davis on trumpets, and you have Cannonball Adderley on alto sax, and the two are having this conversation. I talk about conversations a lot. They got Art Blakey on drums. I mean, this is a super group. That's why this album stands out so far ahead of a lot of other jazz from the 50s. These are the masters in their prime, and they're just having this amazing chat with each other. Like, Cannonball's going up and down and doing these runs, and then you got Miles coming and going, I don't think so. Check this out. I mean, it's an amazing discussion, and that's going to be the takeaway from this headphone, is those conversations and how effortlessly you get lost in what you're listening to versus, I'm going to listen to this headphone and try and dissect it, you know. I'm way more into the music right now than I am the headphone. And that's a great thing. That tells you these headphones are doing what they should do. How about some ZZ Top? Let's go to Tres Hombres and we'll do Waiting for the Bus, Jesus Just Left Chicago. Ah! And there's that image. Two guitars playing the same thing, but they're on different sides. It's fantastic. Bass right down the middle. And then you got the guys singing, and they've really spread it out and filled out the sound stage. It's fantastic. It's a hypnotic bass. It's so good and tight. This has got one of the best bottom ends I've ever heard on a headphone. This is so good. It's just engaging and deep. Hey, let's go to Seal. We're going to do Kiss from a Rose. This is another imaging song, soundstage. Got voices dancing all over the place, and it's going to build. Oh, this is beautiful. Seal, Kiss from a Rose. God. Okay. We can. I'm going to be doing this all day long. I'm going to stop this right here because this episode will go on for 4 hours, and justifiably it should, given the quality of this. 2023 is starting off really well. We did one of the best, if not the best, IEM I've ever heard, and the Noble Audio Viking Ragnar. And then we've got this Bakun in here, which is just driving everything to the next level. And now we've got the ZMF Caldera filling out, you know, what is one hell of a start to 2023. I was expecting great things from the ZMF Caldera because I've read some stuff online that said these are up there. These are a serious contender. But until you actually hear something, you have no idea. You know, I haven't even pad swapped. I've got extra pads here. I've got stuff to make them warmer and whatever. It doesn't matter. A good headphone is a good headphone, and a bad headphone is generally a bad headphone. Like, there's no magic pill that will turn a disappointment into a grin. Except maybe a $6,000 amp, you know?
It's a miracle.
Sorry. But these are spectacular, and they just grab me. Anytime I'm focusing more on the music than the sound and the sound properties and the quality, that means this headphone has taken me someplace away from the fact that I'm sitting here in a studio listening to music. I'm getting lost in the sounds and in the feeling of the songs. they've created a headphone that connects to emotion as well as any headphone that I've ever heard in this headphone. And this is just out of the gate. We're going to do a full sound check. You know, we're going to break this thing down and we'll talk about its properties and stuff. It's just hard when you're getting lost. I'm getting my first listen to these and I'm getting lost in track after track, and I'm going deep on these albums because I just don't want to shut it off, and I want to hear Aerosmith until I'm out of songs. You know, it's like, it's so good. It's so good. Coming up, I have a fun episode where I'm just going to be unboxing some odds and ends, some things that showed up. I'm not really sure what's in all the boxes. We're just going to kind of have a fun and open some things up on the air. That'll be a shorter episode. Then I have a mystery box, a mystery what's in the box episode coming from our friends at Audio 46, my favorite people in the business. I love those folks over there, and we have a coupon code. You can go over there, use Director's Garage, all one word, as your coupon code, and you get 5% off most of the items they carry. Can't wait to see what they've sent our way. And then we're going to have an in-depth review of that amazing Noble Viking Ragnar. And you know, we're going to do a deep dive on this ZMF. You can expect a sound check in the coming weeks as soon as I have a chance to stop listening long enough to take some notes. So give this episode a thumbs up if you enjoyed this first look at the ZMF Caldera, or blow it up if you think I'm a pathetic loser. I can't say I blame you either way, and I will see you before you know it.